Callahan. I go by Jackie for short, and I grew up in Bee Caves, Texas. It's a tiny town in Austin.
My name is Kincaid Callahan. I'm from Cameron, Texas, about an hour northwest of College Station, and I'm currently a student. The day we met, it was the first game of the 2022 season, but that day in particular, we both happened to get crewed with the same position. We were running those giant parabolic microphones that you may see people holding on the sidelines to gather the audio from the line of scrimmage. So we spent 13 hours that day hanging out.
We just kept it at friends for a long time until he asked me out, and I was a little unsure because I was like, I don't know how I feel about dating a coworker, but eventually I realized that I did like him, and so we started to go out. He was super respectful and kind. He was a proper gentleman. He'd always make the finest steak dinners, and it was amazing every single time. And that's like my first memory of like being like, yeah, I could date this guy.
About 11 months after we had started going out, it happened to be at the same place where we had our first, I guess you would call it a proper date. It was at the bridge on 21. We had spent an evening out there basically stargazing. In March, I remember, it was pretty cold.
Yes.
I had this really terrible cover up where I said we were gonna go eat a fancy dinner at Mas Fajitas in Caldwell. Pulled over along the way, walked her down there with the help of some family and friends, had a little area set up, and proposed to her there.
He had graduated shortly after we got engaged and started a full-time job, and I was still in school for another semester. So we were pretty busy in general. It was hard to find time to plan a wedding. After so many decisions you make, you just kind of get tired of making decisions.
Our plates were pretty full. We're working on planning with it, and on top of that, we were dealing with some difficult family issues outside of that. My dad had cancer. And so going through all the time and the emotional load that adds into any time of your life, much less a really stressful one like that, really made, I'd say, especially the second half of the engagement, very difficult. It seemed like all of the things that could have made our engagement period like a disaster kind of happened at once. And we made it through, is all I gotta say. Around late January, we had come to the knowledge that my father's health was on a sharper decline. Planned pretty much all by ourselves, a super small ceremony. Super glad we did so, and I'm really glad in retrospect that we were able to do so, because it was 2 weeks to the day after our wedding day that we lost my dad. So may not have been able to be there for what our original plan was, but thankfully he was able to be there to see us get married. So we still got to have a full ceremony here in front of 200 something witnesses. It was a very important experience to us, not only that we had made the decision to move it up, not only that we had gotten married earlier than anticipated, but that didn't cheapen this experience. The best thing about the Marble package for us was how all-inclusive the package was. We had the entire weekend essentially to ourselves. We got to come here on Friday afternoon, start setting things up, loading things into the venue, so we're not having to scramble to do that on the actual day of the wedding. One thing that tied it all together, I'd say, was the in-house coordination staff. Cleaning up the reception hall even after we were done. That didn't have to be done by our parents and aunts and uncles or, buddies. Everyone could, even after the ceremony, just go and have a good time. even after reception, just go hang out and make the most of the time that we spent here.
And you don't even have to set up the decorations yourselves. The coordinators actually take that job off of your hands. I was shocked by this. I thought I was gonna have to get there on Friday and get everything all ready, and they were like, no, we'll do it. And I was so bewildered. I was like, this is awesome. I don't have to worry about all this. And I felt super appreciative of the coordinators for the space they left for Kincaid's dad out here and in the reception hall. And I'm so glad we were able to honor him here and that he was a part of both very special days, even if he wasn't here physically.
My favorite moment, the coordinators kind of shooed everybody out of the reception venue, dim the lights. It was just us and our DJ in there. We got to have one last song, you know, little things like that. But truth be told, there were a lot of little moments like that. We could tell that there was just a lot of care put into our schedule.
I think my favorite moment was when we did our first look. We did our private vows before this, so that was such a special moment.
If I had one piece of advice that I would give to those who are preparing to get married, it would be to make the most out of your engagement experience. For many people, the time of engagement can be very exciting. For many people, it can also be a very difficult, very stressful time. The engagement period for us was an intense time of growth for us personally. The difficult times, of the stressful times leading up to your marriage, lean into them and use them as opportunities to bring forth growth.
Don't worry about every single little detail. It can be so overwhelming to look at all these weddings online and just get consumed by all of like the trendy things or the popular things. Do what you want. Don't worry about what other people are gonna think or say. And just don't stress about the little things. You won't even think about all the little things that you forgot in the wedding planning process, you know? You'll just be so happy that you're getting married, and honestly, it's a blessing.
You decide to have your wedding at the Inn at Quarry Ridge, take advantage of everything they give you. Spend your time outside, enjoy all the time you have. Believe me, with all the help you have here, it's going to be pretty easy to make the most of your time here and enjoy it. So take that opportunity.
Again, just don't worry too much. And honestly, the Inn at Quarry Ridge really helps you out with that. It's so nice, convenient, and just such a wonderful experience. I wish I could do it again. Experience it again. It was awesome.